Welcome to Sabbath School Lesson Key Points. Lesson 11, Setbacks. Memory text, Romans chapter 5, verses 3 through 5. And not only that, but we also glory in tribulations, knowing that tribulation produces perseverance, and perseverance, character, and character, hope. Now hope does not disappoint, because the love of God has been poured out in our hearts by the Holy Spirit who was given to us. A young girl walked home as a thunderstorm broke. Every time lightning flashed, she stopped running, looked up, and smiled. When she reached her father, he asked why. She said, "Because God was taking my picture." That girl understood something important. When life storms come, we can put our heads down in fear, or we can look up and trust that God is there. Jesus knew a storm was coming on the Sea of Galilee, but he told his disciples to sail anyway. Exhausted, he fell asleep on the boat's only pillow at the helm. When the storm hit, experienced fishermen like Peter, James, and John panicked. They woke Jesus and cried, "Don't you care?" The lesson is painful but clear. When hardship comes, believers often question God's love. They assume the worst about him. But Jesus was in the boat the whole time. He calmed the storm. God works his greatest miracles during life storms, even when his silence doesn't make sense. A woman had suffered for 12 years, spending everything on doctors only to grow worse. Instead of staying in bed, she pressed through a crowd to touch Jesus' garment. Hundreds touched him that day by accident, but she touched him with intentional, desperate faith. Jesus felt the difference. He said, "Daughter, your faith has made you well." Seeing Jesus from a distance is never enough. The weary must draw close to him. He still invites, "Come to me, all you who are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." In one day, Job lost his wealth, his children, and his health. His wife told him to curse God and die. His friends blamed him for hidden sin. Job understood none of it. Yet he declared, "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord, and though he slay me, yet will I trust him." Satan uses suffering to distort our picture of a loving God. Believers face a choice: blame God or cling to him. In light of eternity, momentary troubles are temporary. There is more to the story than what we see now. 2 disciples walked to Emmaus, hearts broken by Jesus' crucifixion. They thought their hopes had died. A stranger joined them and explained how the scriptures foretold all of it. When they sat to eat, their eyes opened. It was Jesus. He had been with them the whole time, and they hadn't recognized him. Too often, believers walk through valleys convinced they are alone. They forget Jesus walks beside them. They forget there is more to the story. They allow doubts to arise, thinking they know better than God what is really happening. Ellen G. White dreamed of climbing a steep staircase to meet Jesus. The guide warned, "Keep your eyes fixed upward, or you will fall." After leaving behind every possession, the dreamer stood before Jesus, who smiled and said, "Fear not." His voice brought joy beyond words. The lesson is simple. Amid life setbacks, focus on Jesus and what he reveals about God's love. Paul wrote, "Our present sufferings are not worth comparing with future glory, and in all things God works for good for those who love him." When life's challenges come, believers must cling to God, not run from him. The weak can pray, "Lord, I believe, help my unbelief." Surround yourself with encouragers. Remember that God's power is made perfect in weakness. Share that message with someone who is hurting today. We live in a broken world. Everyone faces hardships that tempt them to question God's love. But by looking at how biblical figures responded to setbacks, believers can take courage. Their own responses can strengthen their walk with God, who never changes and whose love never fails. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and other social media channels at Valley View University Church. God bless you. Shalom.